Our world is rife with mysteries and enigmas. Through the years, a myriad of wondrous events have occurred and thousands of amazing discoveries have been made. We can never be quite sure what lies beyond the horizon. Between archaeological wonders and the rapid development of technology, there is an unbound potential for our future. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at recent discoveries. The Book of Thoth. The Book of Thoth dates back to the Greco-Roman period and is named after the Egyptian god Thoth, the patron god of libraries, scribes and writing, equating to the god Hermes, who was the messenger of the gods and guide of souls. Hermes and Thoth were greatly revered as sources of knowledge and wisdom, and Hermeticism grew out of this reverence, which stressed the copying of ancient knowledge that had been revealed through the gods into a series of texts called the Corpus Hermeticum. These grew into an extensive set of Egyptian and Greek wisdom texts that became known as the Hermetic texts, and among these can be found the Book of Thoth. The Book of Thoth is formatted as a dialogue between Thoth, a teacher, and a disciple called He Who Praises Knowledge and He Who Loves Learning, respectively. The contents of the lengthy book are said to have come straight from the mouth of Thoth Hermes himself, and consists of a lengthy and varied range of subjects imparting knowledge for rituals, temple construction, astrology, geography, and medicine. However, there are also references to a missing portion of the Book of Thoth which crop up in ancient Egyptian short stories. This segment is rumoured to contain 2 spells from Thoth, one which allows the mage to speak to and understand animals, and the other which allows the mage to witness the gods themselves. However, this book has been missing for centuries, and its progress through the years can be tracked through legends and lore that crop up around its alleged magical contents. The legend claims that the book was hidden by Thoth at the bottom of the river Nile and was locked in enchanted boxes which were guarded by serpents. An Egyptian prince found the location of the secret box and defeated the serpents to retrieve it, but the gods punished his theft from Thoth by taking the life of the prince's wife and son, consequently driving him to take his own life out of despair. The prince was buried with the book and his ghost guarded the cursed book. Decades later, another prince by the name of Setni battled the ghost and stole the book from the tomb, but then met a beautiful woman who seduced Setni and convinced him to take the life of his wife and children. The woman turned out to be an illusion created by the ghost of the deceased prince. Setni, humiliated, found the bodies of the prince's deceased wife and son and buried them with the prince's body. He then placed the book in the tomb, sealed and hid the entrance so that no other could attempt to steal knowledge from the gods again. Mentions of the book have cropped up in stories throughout the centuries, but nobody has been able to find it, although the spells within have motivated many to search for this magical book. Some believers say that the gods have kept the book hidden from mortals because the original theft made them realize that knowledge of the gods is unfit for possession by humans and the book should remain hidden, while others continue the search for the elusive power held within the missing pages. Mexico finds 50 skulls in sacred Aztec temple. In 2012, a team of archaeologists in Mexico claimed to have found the largest number of human skulls presented in one offering. The team stumbled across this discovery when an Aztec temple was undergoing renovations. Within the Aztec period, sacred temples saw offerings given frequently, though this finding was particularly noteworthy because more than 50 skulls appear to have been offered at once, a significantly greater offering than we believe to be the standard. The most sacred temple of the Aztec Empire, Mexico City Templo Mayor, is over 500 years old. Templo Mayor saw some of the most important rituals and Aztec ceremonies within the time frame 1325 to 1521, ending with the Spanish conquest. It has already been well established that it was common within pre-Columbian societies and civilizations to use human skulls as part of sacred rituals. But the 2012 discovery stood out to many archaeologists due to the abnormal number of skulls. 50 skulls were discovered surrounding one sacrificial stone, a spiritual place resembling a grey headstone, with 5 skulls being buried and the remaining 45 seemingly placed on top and surrounding the sacrificial stone. This truly is a bizarre finding, according to archaeologist Raul Barrera from Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History. One explanation for the unusual placement of the skulls is that they have been dug up and relocated from other important ritual sites. These skulls were estimated to be between 20 to 35 years old. The 5 buried skulls, discovered at the same time as those surrounding the site in August 2012, appeared to be in remarkable condition, besides from holes on either side of the skull. The assumed explanation for this is that they had been hung on a skull rack known as zompantli, using a wooden stake to hold them up. Similarly, in 2011, a different site within the same temple, Templo Maya, was announced by the Mexican government to contain a large number of skulls. August 2011 also saw the finding of a young woman's skeleton. Experts believe she was sacrificed in order to personify a goddess, as evidenced by the 1,800 bones surrounding her. A sacred tree has also been uncovered within Mexico City in 2012. This is essentially a large weathered oak tree trunk partially emerged from a well. Experts believe that the tree was taken from a mountain range nearby in order to conduct a ritual. Barrera described these recent findings collectively as very important, a view that he is not alone in holding. Susan Gillespie, an archaeologist at the University of Florida, describes this new research as novel. She continues to explain that little is known regarding the reuse of skulls within Aztec societies. Prior to these breakthroughs, the belief has been that the Aztec rituals consisted of the hearts of the individuals being torn out of their chest. This heart removal is characteristic of the Aztec rituals as opposed to decapitation. This makes the finding of skulls like these more significant, as they may provide us with more answers about the use of other body parts in Aztec rituals. Civilizations that used to live within the Amazon. Since the 16th century, we have held the warped belief that the Amazon rainforest was largely untouched and entirely natural. It was a common assumption that prior to the Spanish invasions, only small groups of nomadic people lived intermittently along the Amazon riverbanks and estuary. Though new research suggests otherwise, revealing vast interconnected villages near the Amazon. Areas of the Amazon that previously could not be explored have been made accessible due to the development of satellite imagery. This allows for even the densest areas of the forest to be explored, letting archaeologists search for the ancient geoglyphs that indicate the presence of civilizations. Geoglyphs are art pieces formed through the moving of the landscape, such as arrangements of stones. The team, funded in part by National Geographic, had a set of 24 coordinates they considered leads, all of which proved to be positive. One in particular, however, proved to be incredibly useful, leading scientists to ceramics and charcoal, which testing indicated comes from 1410 CE. Trends also seem to show that the geoglyphs are most likely to be found in places on high elevation, such as the hills within the Amazon. This new research shows that the civilizations had settled in a wider space than we thought, as people lived further than the riverside, with settlements spanning over 1,100 miles. Another conclusion drawn from this study is that the population densities predicted through computer modelling were higher than thought previously. It was thought, prior to this research, that 2 million lived in the Amazon rainforest. But now we know 500,000 to 1 million live within only 7% of the Amazon basin. A previous idea was that after the European conquests, those who lived in the forest had passed away due to diseases and genocide. Primary author of the research project, Jose Iriarte, archaeologist from the University of Exeter, said in relation to this, "We need to re-evaluate the history of the Amazon." Other information we know surrounding the history of the civilizations living in the Amazon is fairly limited. The Inca Empire was at its height of productivity and growth when the Spanish, French, Dutch, and English invasions began to occur. Inca's societies were based in Cusco, Peru, and these small societal groups and communities stretched into the Amazon lowlands. The assumption that the rainforest was untouched and the ignoring of these groups stems from the European invasions of early modern Europe. The diseases brought over by these new groups led to rapid loss of lives, effectively erasing the appearance of the hard work and lifestyle of these indigenous groups, as the rainforest appeared uninhabited to newcomers. With the European conquests, many indigenous people became victims in forced labour camps, eventually resulting in the tragedy of enslavement and genocides of these remarkable groups of people. Monkeys are entering the Stone Age. If you're familiar with how early humans evolved, you will know that our ancestors began creating tools during the Stone Age. Even though that happened hundreds of thousands of years ago, there is a species of apes that are only now beginning to enter a Stone Age of their own. For the first time, scientists discovered a non-human species that have developed the capabilities to use tools to eat their food. By analysing the tools that the apes left on the forest floors, the researchers were able to construct a rough timeline for how this evolution has happened. About 3,000 years ago, these apes first started using quartz stones to break open small seeds and fruits. Almost 300 years ago, they moved on to even bigger rocks to crack open things like cashew nuts. With such developments emerging, scientists are observing these monkeys to see how their behaviour changes. The monkeys that have been observed using these tools are that of the capuchin, a species that grows to a height of just 2 feet. Scientists have theorized that in a few million years, these monkeys may start building large structures. As of right now, though, the researchers said that this Stone Age could last for over 3 million years. Despite that, it is nevertheless interesting to think about all the evolutionary mysteries revolving around the animals on our planet. But what do you make of these recent discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.